Hey y'all, Barley here. And on tonight's episode of Friday Night Flights, I'm gonna live without the crowd noise this time because I've got too much to explain. You've just got to see what I'm doing tonight. Alright, so my original idea for Friday Night Flights, episode 3, was to show the on-air races. And then do an on-air segment afterwards about, you know, how I've restructured the airline, blah, blah, blah. But when I was doing the... so I went and did a practice run. The very first time I did one of the races, the Canyon Run, I think it's Colorado Canyon Run or something like that, I ended up placing third on the leaderboard with the stock Baron, right? So I was like, well, apparently if I practice, like, because that was sight unseen. I'd never even seen the course, never done anything, and I kicked somebody off of third spot and a whole bunch of people down the list. I was like, okay, so if I actually practice this, number one's not that big a deal because there's like a 2-minute time difference. And I was like, okay, if I study the course and really go through this turn by turn, I'll knock 2 minutes off of it because it's a long course. It's like from start to finish, like 30 minutes. It's a lot. It's physically demanding. Especially, I use rudder pedals. If you twist the joystick out of your wrists, start doing like carpal tunnel exercises or something because you will need rudder. And I mean full extent, both directions on some of the turns. But my first flight through it, managed third. This is multi-engine piston. You can't use turbines. No turboprop. So, in keeping with there's two things here that don't go with the rule set because this isn't in the business. This makes us no money. It does very little to advance the airline. The very first time I did the race, and I didn't know it was going to do this, it gave me 3,000 XP. I don't know if that's because I was third place or just because I completed it. I have no idea. Apparently, after you do it the first time, you get nothing. So, this is not to advance the airline, so I don't feel bad that there's two things. One, it's in Arizona, Grand Canyon. And two, you can only use reciprocating engines. No turbines. Nope. But that was one run. So, in the true style of Barley, just like we're doing on air, I was like, well, what would be harder? What would be easier? So then I went and grabbed my Chancellor Cessna 414 AW, which is naturally aspirated. Oh no, that one's actually a turbocharged twins. And I said, let's take this beast because it weighs 2,000 pounds more. It has more power. It has a higher cruise speed. But it just weighs a lot more. So then I went and ran the course with that, and I ran it twice with the Chancellor because the very first time I realized, wow, it's a pig. It is much slower. The roll rate is much slower. The response from the elevators is not near as, I won't say quick. It's not as there's not as much elevator authority. So when you bank it over and you're pulling back on the stick, you don't get as much. Yeah. So, that the very first run, I got through it, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to fly that a whole lot differently. So then I did a second. Well, and even my first run, I got on the leaderboard. You know, I should just pull up the leaderboard. Let me see if I've got an on-air screen here somewhere that I could use for that. Because here I'm about to get. Oh, here's the next step. So I'll explain, and then I'll go look at the leaderboard. But anyway, so then I thought, you know what? I had picked up the Black Square analog gauges. Of course I did. Since I have the Caravan and the King Air and love both those aircraft, of course I got the Baron from Black Square. Analog gauges. They do such an amazing job at modeling the systems that I thought. And I hadn't read a single review. I hadn't heard anybody. I haven't seen a video. I haven't read anything online. I just thought, you know what? I bought two Black Square aircraft. They're both effing perfect. I'm getting it. It's a twin, and all guys like twins, right? So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and lease one for this, because I can't, I only want to keep it long enough to do the races stuff, and I don't know how long I'm going to be racing. So I'm going to lease one of these. So let's do that. I'm going to rip out all the seats. It's a racer. I'm not going to use it for anything else. So we're going to rip out all the seats. There we go. Make it as... I don't know how much weight we're actually saving, if any, but I don't need the seats. So we'll confirm that. There we go. So we now own a G58P. By the way, if you didn't know, the Black Square Baron comes in both the standard non-pressurized G58 and the pressurized turbocharged G58P. So I'm going to be taking that through the race course for my very first flight. I've never flown it. I picked it up. I thought maybe this will be the Friday night flights thing, or maybe the races will be it. I didn't think I'd be combining them. So I guess you're kind of getting what's going on. So anyway, so let's go take a look at what happened with my first few, trying to decide if I'm going to do the races, because first I want to make sure they worked, right? There's a possibility that, maybe a feature isn't used by many people. So it works. I didn't do single engine plane because I don't have access to something like this, and apparently that's dominating. I don't have a Supermarine Spitfire. I don't even have access to that, or a P-51D, and that's just ripping up the single leaderboard. So I might take the Bonanza down there and just give it a shot, because I bet they have a turbocharged version. I'm gonna have to go look, and maybe it'll do okay. So maybe I'll do that. But you know me, I like twins. So there's my first Baron run ever. At 180 knots average speed, 20, and this is a turn. This is, what was it in Star Wars, like Beggar's Canyon? Yeah, well, whatever. It's a twisty, turny thing. So average 180 knots. So that's when I said, oh, you know what I should do? Because this was 3, right? Originally, I said it won't take me much to go from 26 to 24. That's 2 minutes if I study the field. Anyway, so that's it. Well, let's make it harder. So I went and pulled out the Chancellor. It weighs 2,000 pounds more. It is a turbocharged twin, 310 horses each, I think. So she's got a cruise speed that's, I think, 20 knots faster than the Baron, the standard Baron. And I thought, well, that's, let's go make that happen. Well, my very first run came in at 25, 34, 184 knots. So now I had run the course twice, and I was feeling like, okay, I know the course now, and I know what I want to do. I kind of changed how I was going to enter the course, how I was going to hit the first mark, and then the first 2 things I kind of had an idea how I wanted to hit them to make it easier. And that, obviously, that knocked off a little bit of time. That knocked off 30 seconds, and my average speed went up by 4. At that point, I was like, okay, so now I've run the course 3 times. Maybe I should go get the Baron and see if this new experience puts me, closer into this range. Because, 14 knots average speed over a 30-minute course is a lot. That's it comes out to 2 minutes. And taking 2 minutes off of a course is not easy, but I thought I could do it. And that's when it hit me. While it can't be a turboprop, does it limit whether you can use a turbocharged reciprocating engine? Does it? Well, that's what we're going to find out. So that's kind of what happened. I have never done either one of these races, so maybe we'll save those for future efforts. But that's what you're in for tonight. And because it's Friday night flights, I'll be drinking. What could go wrong? All right, so the way this works is you have to get a ticket. You would register. Okay, so if you're going to do races in the future, pick whichever race you're going to do and hit the register button. Okay, don't worry about, you don't have to know whether you're going to do single or multi yet. You just hit which race. If you want to, this is a Google Maps of it if you want to see what the thing is. But yeah, this is an 80 nautical mile race, and it's all twisty turny. It's not just 80 miles flat out. I don't know what that is or that. They're all in the Grand Canyon area, so I will do these 2. But anyway, so once you hit that, what it does in your pending screen, it puts this guy right here. So it has to be human. Obviously AI isn't going to race, right? And it has this. It's a ticket. It's the race ticket. I don't know if it explains it anywhere. Colorado Run ticket. There you go. So it's for that race. This ticket is good until you complete the race. So if you crash or you abort or the simulator crashes or on-air crashes or any of those things, you'll just start over again at KGCN. Okay? So once you have the ticket, it doesn't matter where in the world your plane is or where you are, it'll transport you immediately. So you just saw, we just leased that plane. It wasn't at KGCN. It was like 70 miles away. Okay? So we're going to hit transport. Hopefully it's there. There it is. Our G58P. Right? We hit travel. It says we will transport your pilot and aircraft to KGCN. Cargo and passengers are left behind. We don't have any cargo or passengers. Heck, we don't have any seats. We hit OK. And you can see what's going on. So there's the Baron that I decided to pick up first to go play. Then there's my Chancellor that I've had for a while. Love the plane. And took the pig and flew that course. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to do a video of that because that is a crazy amount of awkward flying you have to do with something that heavy to make this work. And then here's their new one that we just leased. And it is magically at KGCN. Right? So, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I have at Grand Canyon National Park, Grand Canyon, I already have the 58P loaded here, ready to go. So now here we need to go fly. And you'll see that one of the possible things you can load, if you want to do the race, you got to load the ticket. This one's turbocharged. I don't know its fuel consumption. I was very picky on the 58 and the 414 about how much fuel I loaded because you want to be as light as possible in a turny twisty thing. It's a race after all. I don't know what its fuel consumption is. It can't be. It's turbocharged, smaller engines than the 414, so I'm going to assume it's not that. And that we should be okay with a similar amount of fuel. So we'll go with, we'll assume that it doesn't chew up more than 70 gallons an hour. We'll find out if that's a good or bad. Might have to do this more than once if I end up with 30 gallons left at the end. Then yeah, I'll have to do it again because that's just too heavy. All right, so there we go. That's all in. Validate our fuel and payload. You had no idea I was going to do this to you tonight, did you? We don't want to go at 5, so let's do -5. We'll do noon. Noon. Okay. I am going to leave FS Realistic Pro on. Because, now even though I don't really have any passengers, and I noticed this by accident when I ran the G58 the first time, apparently they really don't like 4.5G turn, hard turns and negative like 2G stuff at all. Or maybe they really like it. It's hard to tell. You'll have to experience that for yourself. So anyway, all this is set. This button, send direct flight plan to sim. What this does is it puts each of the waypoints, the gates, they're purple arrows, but it puts each of the gates on the race into your GPS so that you can, have an idea what's coming up. If it's your, first couple of times running through the course and you aren't really sure how you want to attack the gates, definitely hit that button. Okay, so now this can go away. All right, so we were ready to fly. Oh, and while we're breaking all the rules, since this is not for the company, this is for the boss's fun time, there will be live weather, or no live weather, sorry. And that should be it. And we're using, no, this isn't against the rules, but yeah, so we're using live weather. We're west of our Nebraska line. We're using a non-turboprop, so this isn't making any money or doing anything for the company. This is the boss goofing off on his spring break vacation. These planes will not be used in the airline to move people, goods, or anything else. I am using the I have the PMS 50 stuff as far as GPS, and I put the 750 on a separate screen so I can leave my screen wide open Oh, and it didn't say my... Oh, from the other Baron. I have to redo all my camera angles. Okay. So we'll do that too. So that I have more visibility. Although this is higher. It might not be that bad. I don't know. I'll have to mess with it. But I will put this on the other screen. And I don't have... but, you know... It's the GPS. You've seen a GPS. You know what they look like. Alright, so... Well, now that I have to redo camera angles, I'll do that really quick, and I'll either show you how I do it, or you can skip it. Yeah, I'll just chapter it if you don't want to see this. But, alright, so first... While I'm flying this, for now, I do not need that. I do like vertical speed. That's probably enough. I really would rather... wow. Okay, I'm thinking maybe like that. Vertical speed, altitude, knot meter, 100% need that for this. Engine instruments. No. Oh, let me see what... Oh, no. Let's set it first. That's my first custom camera. And then let's set engine instruments up close now. That's manifold pressure, RPM, and fuel flow. Ooh, okay, so we have to... Because really it's the... EGT, so exhaust gas temperature for setting mixture, our CHT, and then our oil temps and pressures, just to know if I'm pushing the engine too hard, or like if it's the cylinder head temperatures, then maybe I need to open the cowlings, because once we get up, I'm probably going to close them. We're in Grand Canyon at altitude in the winter, just to be more sleek. I don't know if it really makes a difference. But it's a black square aircraft, so it might. So I think this will be the view for instruments, which is my third. Second is usually over here. It's just, there's nothing. So it'll be this white that is so ugly. Go away. So yeah, this will be my 2 view. So right now we have... out the window, over the instruments, below the column. That's all my starting lights, all that stuff, yeah. Okay, so what haven't we done? 2, 3, oh, the bottom. Fuel selectors are down there. Is there anything, what do I need to see quickly? None of that. Is there anything on the roof? A roof? No, just... those. There is nothing that I need to see quickly. Is there a way to get the flaps and the fuel selectors? Those are 2 things that I would look down for. These lights will be the indicator. And can I turn them both? Yeah, so let's call this that button. So front, bottom, down there, instruments. I think that's the instrument views that I care about for now. Now I need my angled views, which are only important. I'm not going to do all of them, but I'm going to do some. Alright, so we need left front. So we would stick our head up into the windshield. And then we would look this way. So that we could see stuff. There we go, and that would be... Is that 5? Okay, so make sure. Yep. And then we need... Sorry, I didn't mean to put you through all this, but I just picked this plane up. I haven't flown it before, so none of my camera angles are set. So we would stick our face up into the windshield again, but we would give ourselves more of a view this way. Maybe up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's that. Alright, so there's front. There's front. There's that. There's that. This should be angled up a little bit, I think. There we go. Let's do it more like that. Okay, and then we need our side views. I don't think I'm gonna... Well, I may. Because we do have to land at the end, so I may need all my views. Okay, so for looking out this window... I think something like that in a turn. Okay, that'll work. And we need looking out the other window, which we would obviously lean over to do. And then, so we're leaning over, so we're down, so we can look up. Probably look like that. In case you didn't know, yeah, I set up keys to set up custom. I'm saving custom cameras and then using custom cameras. So there. Now the reason they're pointed up is when I really need this, I'm probably in a right turn, and I don't want to see the down at the ground. I want to see, you know, where I'm turning to. Same thing for these corner shots. See, it's aimed up. Now for the back ones, because like I said, I will have to land, and I think it would paste our face against the window, right? See behind us? Would it be better? Oh, it's about the same, isn't it? That's about as good as that's going to get. And this is left back. Okay, so that one. There we go. So we only have one more to do. I apologize. Now, if you really were interested, I can do a whole tutorial on how to set camera angles up like this. If I were really looking back, I would lean into the center like this to get as much of a view. And if I'm leaning, then I would have to be low. That's not lower, is it? Let me go down there. Oh, the seat's in the way. That's what it's doing. Okay, how far? Oh, down. Go. Oh, okay, that's about all we're gonna get this way, I guess. That's all the visibility it's gonna give me in it, and I really want. Yeah. Okay, that's all we're gonna get, and that's 9. Okay, let's check all our angles. Front view. And then another, sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. So, standard front view? No, it didn't. Okay. Anyway. That one. That one. That one. That one. That one, that one, that one. Okay, I'm happy with all my views, and some of those are necessary for this. Alrighty, now, I have flown the Baron a few times, several times, but this is new. If I'm guessing that Black Square's gone, Asobo tends to easy out the checklist, but I'm going to do some basic stuff and just see if we can't figure it out. I may not be doing the perfect thing, but I guess you guys don't want to sit here and watch me create a custom checklist. So let's just look where all the buttons are at least. Fuel boost pumps. This is, we'll probably need those for the start. Door seal standby system. Yeah, that's not going to be today. We're not going to be pressurized anyway. We're going to be below, I think, maybe 11,000 feet is the highest I'm going to go, so we're not going to pressurize nothing. There's my fuel indicators. Not going to use the autopilot. Don't care. There's my flaps. There's cabin pressure. That's set to dump, and I'm not going to pressurize today, so don't care. I will have to learn all that later. There's transfer. Again, shouldn't need transfer pumps for this short of a flight. Alright, so I think we're ready to let OnAir know that we're ready, so I'm going to hit the tracking button. Alright, this will be the second attempt in the G58P. My first attempt, I got 5 gates from the end, and there are, I forget how many, but it's like 60 something, maybe even 70 gates. I got 5 gates from the end, and I was too high, so I missed a gate. So we're doing it again, and that will be a separate video, so you can see my, I don't hide my mistakes. It's just for the Friday Night Flights video, I want a successful run, and then I'll show you. Well, here was attempt number 1, and you can watch me fly over the top of a gate right. I mean, 5 gates from the end, for Pete's sake. But anyway, we're ready to go here. Oh, and if you do miss one or whatever, either crash or like I did, I just escaped out and then aborted from OnAir. And now I'm going to restart and just go back to the aircraft screen, hit the fly now for the G58P, make sure it has the ticket, make sure you've loaded the same amount of fuel that you had before. Just setting the UTC offset so that we're at high noon. Alright, that all looks good, so let's... start the tracking. And let's start the starting. Alright. So I've started this plane exactly once now, so we need to make sure that those are... I guess these just start out on. You don't really ever turn them off. Assuming that's neutral, that's neutral. Cowl flaps are currently open for start. That makes sense. Trim is set for... Whoa. Takeoff. Anything else? Anything over there I care about? A little slow. Second time in the airplane. Okay, I think that's... Oh, you know what? Beacon. Batteries. And then this is probably going to be alternators on. And we need our... We're going to start our right engine first. Okay. And then we need our... our right throttle back to 1/2 inch. And I'll see if
Clear.
See if we did this right.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Okay, we did it right. Alright, now the same process for the left engine. Mix full rich, props are high. Left engine, high. Throttle back to 1/2 inch. Now, the left engine did that the first time. Oh, no. Yeah. What? The exact same process is supposed to work for both engines, but the left engine... Yeah, I'll try pulling it back. Yeah, it did this the first time, too. We have maintenance. Take a look. There's something up with that. I don't know why the left engine... Maybe it came from the factory broken? Oh, self-test in progress. Okay, so we can't ask it that question. I wonder what's up with the left engine. Yeah, this happened on the first time with the other one. Start. Okay. Try it with the fuel pump on high. Okay, not a fuel starvation issue. Well, then if it's... lean it out, see if it's a flooded issue. That really do it? Okay, so the left engine likes to be lean at start. Okay. And then for alternators, when we see that complain, we just need to get everybody up to 1,000 RPMs. There we go. There we go. And then we can close our cowl flaps. We can be sleek for the race. Let's get some more lights on. Don't need pitot heat today. None of that. None of that. None of that. La 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 la. La 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 la. None of that. Not using the autopilot, but I would like some avionics. Okay. And I am using the PMS 5750 panel in on another monitor. Give me more screen space to see the race, the race. But you can see everything I see on this one. It's just, it just lets me not clutter up everything in here. And okay, what are you doing? Okay, GPS is set, not using the autopilot. Altimeter is set. Oh, wait, we shouldn't have to. When everybody races, you use fake weather. Now, put that back to 2992. Alright. Don't care about you, don't care about you. Stuff we normally care about, we don't care about on this flight. Alright, we're out of here. Shall we go racing? It's gonna be nuts. Super nuts. Oh. Little roundabout there. Very cool. Right, we'll just do lights on. We've been cleared to enter the course. We will enter the course. Nobody landing. Man, we're just going to depart straight out. Actually, we're going to do like a 180, but just meant I'm not going to stop. Never going to stop. Hear those turbos ramp up. That is so cool. Power set and rotate. No? There we go. So about 100's where she wanted to rotate. Trim for climb. And turn. Oh no. I forgot to load all the GPS waypoints into my navigation system, which I will fix shortly. Going to the tracking page and hitting send direct flight sim to sim. There it is. Say that's a necessity for this race course. Until you've memorized it, which I have not. Yeah, you're gonna need help. This is the one. This has to be it. That's actually the first time I've failed the course. I didn't. Yeah, I did. But this thing is. This is probably 20 knots faster than the 414. It's as nimble as the other G58. I mean, a little less. It does roll a little slower than the G58. And this is the G58P. So it does, because it weighs a little more. But God, those turbochargers. All right, roll out parallel. Level out. Then we need to get our mixture set. Which there's some sort of issue with the mix with the Bravo throttle that I'll have to straighten out another time, so I'm using buttons on my joystick to do exhaust gas temperature, which is here. So our mixtures are set. They ended up like that to get the same EGT. Well, I got a... Whoa. Look down for a second and Trim tries to kill you. We are too high, though. It is correct about that. And all I'm trying to do is line up with that white line and turn in there. Wow, she's speedy. Let's start the turn now. That mesa is where the start gate is. Full power back. We don't want to. Let's not rip the wings off right before we even get started, right? If I can get to the gate. That should be good right there. And there's some commentary from the people on the back. Now we're just trying to keep it as close to 220 as possible. It is a race. We're trying to be fast, right? 230 is VNE. Never exceed velocity. And we will have a steeper drop after this to prepare for hitting the mark. Now you see the marker. Back at idle. Let gravity do the work. Unsteady. Those first few are hard coming in that fast. Some people call those screams. I think that's cheers. Let's go, Barley. Keep it up, brother. You're doing great. We're having a fantastic time. See, they're quiet when it's all boring and straight. They want that high-speed turn stuff. None of this easy back and forth. No chance of dying stuff. And I mean, who wouldn't bring their own cheering section on a race? Right? The 414, I had to do a bunch of power management because you can't leave it firewalled the whole time. It'll lose power after like 15 minutes or so. So you have to judiciously use firewall, you know, whatever you want to call it, full power, military power, firewall, and then go back to max continuous. With this, I'm leaving it firewalled the whole time. We'll see. But I had flown the 414 a lot and messed with it, so I knew it had that. You couldn't run it. You couldn't run it full throttle the whole time, and just managed it. I may have managed it. I might have been able to go a little faster on that run, but won't have that to blame here. Well, unless this has a similar issue and doesn't want to be run for 30 minutes at max speed, max throttle. Nice easy turns for a little bit. One kind of rough pinhook coming up. Almost missed that gate. Lack of concentration, Barley. Keep her low. More rudder in the turns. See, I told you it was cheers. You know how happy they are that I got that last gate? They'll be really happy about this one. Here we go. Should be lots of cheers now. Or maybe not. This is as high G a turn I was expecting. Oh, there it is. Boy, they're having fun. This was exactly the Grand Canyon tour they were expecting. Hey, and they paid for my gas for the race run. So I'll give them their money's worth. Oh, these... Bad position. Fix it. There we go. Overturned. That'd help. Couldn't see anything. I know one thing that would probably help on these races is like IR tracker or that eye tracking one. I could see using that. I haven't really seen a huge need for it in GA flying, but I could see using it for something like this. To beep that out. I thought I was gonna put a wing in the canyon. I was close. Another overturn. I just turned too far at the end of the turn. Focus more. Are screaming, especially the people in the back. I think there's one more really tough section. It's where I blew it last time and flew over the marker. So really need to more rudder in the turns. Keep that nose down. Like that. See? They like it when I do that. Keep that nose down. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Get down. Get down, girl. There we go. boy. Yeah, I agree with you, lady. Stay down. This is where I got a I don't know which marker, but in one of these next 4 or 5, I think is where I ended up a high. So more rudder. Like more cowbell, but for aviators. Yeah, it was definitely in here somewhere. We're gonna stay low this time. You will not defeat me. This is like I think this is like a straight section, so yeah, no, it's after this. There's like another section just like that coming up. Blow through these gates, then we're gonna be really fast, and it's gonna be hard to keep her down. I'll try going to the outside of this one, see if that helps. to get high here. Lots of rudder, lots of rudder. Go outside on this one too. Oh, rudder. Cut across. And oh wow. Can't quite cut across or make for a turn that you can't complete. Full rudder, full stick. Wow. Yeah, you can't go straight at that last gate or you'll never make that turn. Not at 225 knots anyway. Lose a little bit of speed pulling all those G's, but we'll get it back. Yep, here we are. We're into like the last 8 gates, so it's somewhere in here that I blew it last time. Yeah, this far down. It sucks to go this far, but full rudder in the turns. Keep her nose down. Get down. Straighten up. The other way, and same thing. Full rudder. Straighten up. Stay down. Keep thinking I'm at the point where I blew it last time, but I think it's further up, and we're almost at the end of the course though. More cheers. That bleeds off some speed. We're gonna make it. I got past whichever one I missed last time because I didn't make it to that guy right there. I think it was the one right before that. Yep. All right. All I gotta do is climb out and land. Yay! Negative G's for everybody. We did something we have done before. We're so awesome. All right, let's start slowing down here. And then get configured for a landing of some type. All right, there's lefts, landing lights. We will not be doing a standard approach of any type. We will be doing find the runway, there it is, and land on it. Approach. I hope everybody's cool with that. This will not be technical. This will continue the seat of the pants flying that we've been doing. Okay, gear. We are high. You think? He says. More flaps. Gears down, lights are on, RPMs, mix is full. 3 greens, we're good. Alright, a little more power now. Come on, baby. This is the easy stuff. Don't give me any problems.
Landing time log.
No reversers here. Just brakes. Which is why we put the flaps up as soon as we touch down. So the brakes are more effective. Well, what did y'all think about that? Was that some something? Yeah. What I'm thinking. Wow. That is some seriously fun flying. It's a totally different universe from just... Okay. Guess I'm gonna shut that engine off. Let's get some... Why did that engine turn off? There's an issue with the left engine. Well, this doesn't work. Okay, because this is where you normally mess with things like parking brake. Where you normally mess with things like the engine, whatever. Yeah, that's not working at all. Is there a button somewhere for the radar? I will have to look that up. I don't see a radar switch. Okay, everything's off except a beacon. I mean, we didn't run out. Why did that one engine turn off? Where the hell are my fuel gauges? I have not flown this enough. I see fuel flow. Where's fuel gauges? Anyone? Wheeler? I'm probably looking for something. It's probably right in front of me, and I'm just looking for it to look a certain way, and it doesn't. I mean, there's a fuel computer, but tell me there's... And an analog Baron, tell me there's an... Oh, there they are, right there. No, we had fuel in both tanks. Both are on. Why did you quit? Mixture's full, RPM's high, throttles are just at idle. Ah. No idea. Okay. Well, the left engine's off, so... all the lights off except for the beacon, so we'll just turn the other one off.
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Let's figure out what's going on with the radar. It may not be modeled yet or something. But I don't know how you're supposed to do the check engine status stuff. Yeah, because that's how the Caravan and the King Air work. Alright, did I leave anything else on? And I guess we could turn those off. Return our trims to Takeoff. Okay. And I really didn't turn a whole bunch of other stuff on. Okay. Well, let's see what OnAir had to say. Regular landing. I'm fine with that after half an hour of pulling whatever. How many G's did we pull? In here somewhere. 4 G's. It doesn't say what your negative, what the highest negative G was. Does it say what your highest speed was? It'd be cool if it had all that stuff. But... Okay, so all that's left is to go check out how we did. Did we... That had to be faster than the 414 time. It had to. It had to. Business activities. Had to. Races. Multi-engine. Number 1! Oh my god. We were... What? 20? I thought it was 20 faster than the 414. It was 25. 25 knots faster. And 3 minutes. Wow. And I think there were probably maybe 2 turns that entire thing that I could have done a little cleaner. for a little extra time. But other than studying the course and like nailing every, you know, gate to gate, I mean, I might be able to take another 20 seconds off of that. That's about as best. But very cool. Brat is number 1. Well, and number 4 and 5. And 6. Alright, so maybe we'll play with some of these other races in the future. But that is Friday Night Flights. It's a quicker one than normal. We're not doing a 3-hour flight from such and such to so forth. We transported exactly 0 cargo and no passengers. We made $0 for the company and got no XP. We're also in Arizona. In not a turboprop. Yeah. There was a third roll I broke in there. Not a turboprop. We're west of the Nebraska line. What was the other one? I broke 3 rolls. I'm sure of it. But since it's not for the airline, this is Boss on his spring break goofing off that he does every year. Apparently races planes in the Grand Canyon. So yeah. Anyway, lots of fun. You should give it a shot. Hey, see if you can beat my scores. If nothing else, if you don't have the G58P, well, look, second and third could belong to you. All you gotta do is beat these G58s. These are straight up G58s. Very cool. Well, with that, Barley out.